Remember that one time Pam Bondi got caught on a private video by James O'Keefe saying that there was thousands of videos and photos related to Jeffrey Poopstein, and then a couple of weeks later Kash Patel went on Joe Rogan and was like, no, there's none? Okay. And even though he had hundreds of millions of dollars, his house is all over the United States as well as around the world, he just definitely didn't have any security cameras that would have showed people at the very least entering, coming and going from those properties that nobody has ever seen. Remember when she released binders of supposedly new information to a small group of influencers, and then it all came out that that information had been public knowledge for years? Because that makes total sense. We should definitely have to watch these new supposed documents through some grainy X video or scans that came out from those individual influencers hours later, instead of just releasing it to the world like it would have been definitely not a good idea to do. Nothing to see here, guys, because remember, 2 steel reinforced 100+ story towers can fall at free fall speed, and one that had a small office fire, that one can also fall at free fall speed into a direct footprint of itself. And while all that jet fuel was melting all of those literal steel beams, a paper passport just flew out the window and was picked up within an hour. Nothing to see here, guys, because a bunch of amateur pilots that live in a cave could definitely pilot a 747 directly to a very precise location hundreds of miles away with no training whatsoever. In those videos that you saw on that fateful day from the ground floor of those towers, they were just completely blown out with a bunch of stuff and debris all over the place, because that makes sense, because something happened 50-something floors above it, so that just blows out the lobby. That also makes sense. Nothing to see here, guys. Don't believe your lion eyes, because structural resistance to progressive collapse is definitely not a real thing. Like, if the top of a building was to suddenly start collapsing down into the other floors of that building, it would provide absolutely no resistance at all, and the entire structure would fall at free fall speed. It wouldn't just slowly collapse, breaking each floor one by one as it went down. That's not what would actually happen, because physics and science are not real, and engineers also are not real, unless they're the official engineers that wrote the report that came out several years later that didn't really explain this or whatever. Because there's nothing to see here. Just go and have a beer and watch your sports ball team. Because nothing makes sense in Dumpsterville.